Good morning, liveweatherblogs.com meteorologist Bob here for you with today's tropical update for Monday, September 6, 2010. Oh, the big news today is, surprise, surprise, Tropical Storm Hermine. That area I was watching in the southwest Bay of Campeche yesterday has developed into a tropical storm. That's number 8 for the season so far. We have movement to the north at 10, maximum sustained winds at 45 miles an hour. It's about 280 miles south-southeast of Brownsville. Here's the official forecast track by the National Hurricane Center. Although, I'm going to show you the satellite view in a moment here. It looks like the position of the storm has relocated, or at least the center, farther north and maybe a little east, which is actually great news for development, because this thing looks like it wants to really start cranking here, but that could give it much less time over the water to develop. I had probably about 18 to 20 hours. It looks like it was going to be on water before it hit land, but now that might even be a little less, and that's great news. And even for the southeast coast of Texas here. But anyway, tropical storm warnings are in effect in Texas from Rio Grande to Baffin Bay, so right in this area. Probably the most unfortunate thing with this system is that this is where Alex brought a lot of rainfall, especially in the Rio Grande Valley here in northern Mexico, and this one could do the same thing. So areas that are still recovering, especially in northern Mexico here from Alex, will be getting a lot more rainfall, because that will be the #1 threat with this system, is heavy rainfall. So that's the kind of the bad news with this system. Wind shouldn't be too much of a factor. It should have a little bit of strengthening today, and depending on when it makes landfall, if it makes it sooner than later, then this could get up to about 55 miles an hour, maybe peak. A little later, it could peak at about 60 to 65. So it'll really just depend on how long it has over water today. Again, the main threat for southeast Texas will be heavy rainfall. So let's look at the south. Now here we go. You can see this forecast point right here. That was for early this afternoon. Well, if you see, looks like the center is probably right down in here, probably just to the south of the heaviest convection in here. So it looks like, #1, the center looks like it's a little east of the forecast points and a little quicker. There was some discrepancy with the models on the speed of this system. Some of the global models had it coming in much faster, and like the HWRF, GFDL had it a little slower, and some of the other early run models as well. So looks like we're right about here with the center, right here, just south of probably the edge of this heaviest burst of convection here. And it should be, if you're looking at the forecast points by the National Hurricane Center, it should be probably right about here where my pointer is. So looks like a little north and a little west of where it should be. So that's good news, because that'll bring it quicker to the coast here, because what's going to happen is this is going to move north, then north-northwest, and then into the coast here of northern Mexico. But as you can see, looking at it this morning, it's still strengthening. You're seeing some heavy convection trying to wrap around the center. So we should have some slow strengthening today before landfall. And if this trend continues of this quicker relocation and western movement, I would expect landfall probably more like later this evening or early tonight than early tomorrow morning. So a little quicker there on landfall. And I suspect the National Hurricane Center will adjust their forecast track at 11 a.m. Again, the bigger picture, here we go. So you'll see rainfall starting to spread along the southeast Texas coast today. So a rainy day along the coast there. Again, if this track holds and it moves a little farther south and west, Texas will really just have heavy rainfall with this system. Maybe some tropical storm force winds in extreme southeast Texas, but again, mainly a rainfall event for them. Again, looking at the wind shear, pretty low wind shear still until landfall. So even if this track shifted a little west, it's still going to be in that low wind shear. So wind shear is good for this system right now for continued slow development. And here's the radar. You can see these storms will continue to spread into southeast Texas from about probably from Corpus Christi southward. Today is going to be your main rainfall event here. Maybe getting up towards Victoria as well. So this is going to be our area of heavy rainfall. Can you continue to spread off the Gulf today? Center is way down in here. And again, the model runs, and here's what I was talking about. See, some of them have it a little quicker, and those are the ones that push it closer to the coast, and then some that had it a little slower, kind of extended up towards Texas more. So looking at more of this southern extent of the models here for Hermine. And again, intensity models, everybody brings it up, especially the LGM. Again, it depends how long it's going to be over water, but around that 50 knot range, that looks about right if it spends enough time over the water. Like I said, even a little more time, we might even get up to 60, 65 miles an hour. But my thinking is anywhere between 55 to 65, depending on how long it stays over water. And here was that HWRF model. This was by early tomorrow morning. Again, a little farther north and a little more time over water. But again, I'm thinking this track is going to shift a little farther south here. And again, GFS in about 24 hours. This was, again, early tomorrow morning making landfall. And again, looking at the steering currents, you can see where's Hermine going? Well, there it is, just like this. We have high pressure, big subtropical ridge now covering most of the Gulf, western Atlantic here. And it's going to be right on the western edge of this ridge that it's going to move. So it can't really move north because it can't budge through this ridge. So it's going to have to move north-northwest and then northwest. Now what else we have? Well, Gaston. Well, poor Gaston. Boy, yesterday morning I thought he was going to be finally on his way. He looked good. And then, now this morning, not looking so hot. You see that circulation center not as tight as it has been. Still no convection really around this loosely defined center here. So not looking too hot today. This is great news for the northern Leeward Islands and Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, as again, just some showery weather, maybe some gusty winds as it moves through the northern Leeward Islands tomorrow. And then this should move south of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, but still overspread them with some rainfall and a little bit of gusty winds on Wednesday. So good news for those guys that this isn't developing yet. And I'm a little less excited about this thing developing right now, and I'll show you that in a minute. Still has a chance. You know, once things get into the Caribbean, you never want to count them out. So we'll still be watching this, but a little less excited today on development. And here's the bigger picture, and you can see still that dry air. Just it wants to follow him all the way into the Caribbean, but definitely a moisture environment. But it's starting to catch up to this this tut feature here, and you can see the clouds here to the west of it really starting to get shoved to the north, and that's bad news. A lot of the models are really now starting to show this getting eaten up by this wind shear right now and not really developing it much. So that was one of the factors of it not developing, was this shear, and it looks like it's starting to catch up to it now. So not looking too good for Gaston. We'll still continue to watch him, but things are looking a little up. But then you never know if anything gets left of it into the Caribbean down the road. Pretty explosive environment here if wind shear is good and with those high water temperatures. So still have to watch it carefully. And here was that ASCAP pass last night. This is about 12 hours ago. And you can see the center was there. Not that great of a center. It's kind of real small and not that organized. So again, Gaston still has some work to do here. National Hurricane Center gives him 70%. I would have probably given him about 50 or 60 today, to be honest with you. And wind shear again. Here's Gaston now, but look, it's starting to catch up to that higher wind shear just to its west. So not as much distance as it has been. And boy, if it gets into this wind shear with that loosely defined center, it's goodbye for Gaston. So we'll have to see. This tut feature could lift off, and then he could sneak under it. That's a chance there too. So still going to watch him, but not that excited for development the next 24 to 48 hours. Here's the model runs again. Everybody moving west. This is definitely going to go into the Caribbean and move south of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. And then we'll have to watch it in this area. If it could survive somehow, as it maybe gets closer to Jamaica, we could see some development down the road. That would be my thinking right now. And here's the GFS again. Not showing any development with Hermine, but look at what else we have going on. We're going to be watching some waves coming off the coast of Africa this week, and all the models are really developing two systems out here. One that's going to come off the coast in the next day or two, and then we'll have another one right behind it. So it's not over yet, folks. We're right in the peak of the season now. So we're going to keep watching these waves come off the coast. And here's a GFDL for Gaston. Again, not really that excited with it, showing a lot of wind shear through the Caribbean. And again, this is the Euro model. Again, nothing really on Gaston, but again, showing you those two systems developing in the next 7 to 10 days off the coast of Africa. So just like the GFS, looks like we might be tracking a system later this week and then maybe two systems next week. And then again, the bigger picture, you can see the difference. Look at Gaston compared to Hermine. Look at that. That's a tropical storm. That's nothing. Watching a wave come off the coast of Africa, but then the next one right here, this is the one the models really want to develop. Right here, it's just coming into the picture now. So we'll definitely, our focus will, after Hermine, we'll have one eye on Gaston, but then our focus will again shift off the coast of Africa this week. So that's it for today. I will have another tropical update, maybe later tonight if Hermine gets itself better together. Maybe a quick little update on her, unless it makes landfall by then, which is possible. And if not, I'll have another tropical update for you guys tomorrow morning. Have a nice Labor Day, and stay tuned to liveweatherblogs.com for your latest weather needs.